Hello, everyone. Welcome to Witches on Witches, 15 minutes with Laura Davila today, author of Mexican Sorcery. Hello, Laura.
Hola, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm really good. Really happy to be chismeando with you and
Exactly. We
you
have
know.
the tea.
Yes.
Laura, I need to ask you because everybody loves your accent from where you are and where do you live now?
Well, I was born and raised in Monterrey, Nuevo León, but I had been living in so many places, between Mexico and the United States, probably like 17 different states. Here, right now, I'm living in Texas, but I had
Okay.
lived in California, Nevada, specifically Las Vegas. In California, I used to live in Rancho Cucamonga and Lakewood, and I used to live in Michigan too. So, I'm a very mercurial person, always
Yeah, you go
jumping,
places.
always
You're
travel.
traveling everywhere.
Yes,
Got it.
yes.
Laura, you identify yourself like Daphne la Hechicera, which is depending of your background, because every tag that we take always change dependently of our culture, background, country, language. Which is for you the difference between being a witch and a hechicera?
Well, we have to remember that these titles or the meaning or what it like means to be a bruja or an hechicera or a bruja de rancho. They're terms that primarily were given by the Catholic Church and a lot of like um books to judge these practices.
Yeah,
So probably in a different country, these words will have a different context or meaning, But specifically, even in Mexico, if you check the academic side, in the northeastern part, a bruja or an hechicera could have like a pact or a deal with the devil. The difference when they were judged as a bruja and not an hechicera in the Inquisition times was that somebody accused the witches or the brujas of flying.
yeah,
That was the only like differences. Today, I think in the modern context, everybody call themselves or bruja or an hechicera. They're very like fluid terms, but if you go specifically to the academic part, most brujas have a deal or a pact with the devil or dark entity, or you know, and hechiceros have like only a collaboration with these
yeah.
entities instead of a pact, So I go with Daphne la hechicera because I think most of all I'm an hechicera. But it's days that I identify myself as a bruja de rancho, other days just as a bruja, and other days just as a witch, depending who I am talking to, what I'm
Exactly.
doing that day, you know what I'm saying? So just like I said, they're very fluid terms, and I think in the American way, we complicate these terms. In Mexico or even in Latin America, there is no difference between one or the other,
Yeah, we usually just say that everybody's a bruja or a brujo, and if it's Latin Hispanic people born in the United States, they use the Brooks cis with the X in the end, which is more
Mhm.
like a North American thing. And the word hechicero or hechicera in Latin America are like, someone who is like don't know very well inside of the witchcraft, inside of the craft, not someone who is practicing every day. It's more someone who is curious about doing spell casting, tarot cards, and something like that. But we just use those both words all the time. Here is a different context because it's a whole culture that we are representing here. That was the reason why I was so curious because you wrote based on that Mexican sorcery, which has been like everywhere. Everybody has seen your book everywhere. Is sold out everywhere and is number one everywhere. And we are
Yeah.
incredibly proud of you for that. Tell me, how do you feel about the success of this book?
I wasn't even expecting it, to be honest. Like, I mean, you know how that works. Like, you do things with a lot of love. You do things from your heart. You ask like the blessing of your ancestry, and you just put something out there, and it's totally up everybody else to embrace it, you know. But luckily, this book had been really cherished by all the community, by everyone.
Yeah, because I think that offers a different view. We have many Mexican Americans living in the United States, people who born here, and they have a very valid cultural practice. But I think that feels different when someone who actually born in the country says, "Okay, I understand what are you doing. So let me. I'm not trying to explain to you why are you doing it, but I'm going to explain to you how I learned to doing it and why we are doing it in that
Mm-hmm.
way." And you apply that in the book where you explain everything with so much detail. Something about what I see that everybody is very curious is that in the cover of your book, you have some scissors.
Yeah.
Tell me about
So,
that.
I starting by seeing a lot of people, putting their scissors in a lot of videos, in altars, in, like hanging these scissors on their windows. But I think everybody knew like what they were used for, but nobody knew exactly why they were used
Yeah,
in that way, so it was perfect because that's something that I want to expose in the book, which is like the scissors, in my opinion, is the perfect symbol of the symbiosis of cultures that make the Mexican culture, because they have, a very ancient story, not only history, not only in our indigenous Spain, but in our European one too. So when the Spanish wanted to like exterminate and all those beliefs, they put it all those beliefs in a book to
yeah,
know like what they were trying to exterminate, what
yeah.
beliefs they were trying to take away from the people. So in those books that they were published in the 1600s, they said like the people in pre-Hispanic Mexico already believe in these sorcerers and these witches. Some of them were really nice and really good and very like focused on real, like benevolent social endeavors, like healing, like advising, but some of them were really terrifying and some of them were really like scary. So the thing that they used to do, they used to put a jicara, that is like some kind of bowl, with fill
Yeah,
it with water, and obsidian blade. So when a witch used to see her reflection, on the water and see these obsidian blade, used to run so far away because it knew what it was the thing that was going to happen if they cocked her. So if they cocked her, these brujas that they're called Mometscopinki had like they used to cut the hair from this
yeah.
part that the crown, not only to the witches, but these Mexica warriors and Nahua warriors had the same procedure for another warriors when they were captured in war. And they did this because they in that way they were cutting their strength, which is the tonally,
Yeah,
and they died, or they got very like weak after that
got it.
haircut from this place, right? So when the Spaniards started seeing that they had other beliefs, but at the same time, they were afraid of witches. And a lot of those beliefs starting to syncretize. So instead of using that obsidian blade, they start using the scissors, and they used to put them in like a cross shape.
Yeah.
And instead of the water ball in the entry, they used to put mirrors. So that's something that I talk about. Like, we need to know, yeah, like most like, yeah, what is the reason why?
Yeah.
Not only like the procedure. Why is that procedure?
Exactly. It's a
So
whole symbolic historical element in there. For example, in Venezuela, we used to put the glass of water under the bed with the scissors forming a cross when someone can't sleep. So you are putting any bad energy around. And if you go to Brazil, people hang out the scissors from very close to the doors to cut any bad energy coming close to the people inside of the home. And in some other places that I can name right now, you put the
put
scissors.
it under the
Oh,
bed.
exactly. Because you can't
Yeah.
cut any kind of energy with that. You make the scissor your magical tool for protection. And the
Yes.
scissor is like a powerful guardian who is just ready all the time to cut any bad energy coming in your way.
Yeah. This was documented on the Jacinto de la Serna, I think was the first manifesto that was published in 1656. And in later editions, it was like changing to the point like we have this tradition now, like
Yeah.
the scissors. So for me, it was very important to, people to understand the concept and why.
Yeah. Laura, you are working on something right now? Classes, books, workshops, anything?
Right now I'm writing. We still don't have anything like set in stone, but we're working on, the things that I have talked with my own community of what they would like to know or they would like to learn. So in my free spare time, because I'm a mom, I'm a
Yeah.
wife, and I have my own clients. So I'm trying to put something out soon, probably in the next year or
Got it.
two.
Where people can find you to know more about you and about Mexican
Mhm.
sorcery.
Ay, Daphne Hechicera in what is it? Instagram, and Twitter too. I think it's the
Yeah.
same one. And TikTok. Now like I'm in TikTok too.
Yeah. We know. We know. And also on Facebook, her book for everyone, Mexican Sorcery, Brujeria de Rancho, is available everywhere books are sold. If you don't find the book right now, it's because it's sold out literally everywhere. You can find it on Amazon or in your favorite virtual bookstore. Thank you, Laura, for these 15 minutes with you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Bye, everyone. Enjoy the video and share if you want.